I'm a scientist and I'd always been fascinated by the idea of Bigfoots. So when I heard about an opportunity to join a research team studying the creatures in the wilderness, I jumped at the chance. We arrived in the remote forest, set up camp, and began our study. At first, everything seemed normal. We collected samples, set up cameras, and conducted interviews with the locals. As the days passed, nothing much happened. We did this day after day for several weeks, and people would tell us their stories. But, the skeptic I am, thinking, look, these are mostly bears or whatnot. But, that's just the scientific mind in me, right? So that was until one night. I was outside of my tent, and you know that feeling when you're getting watched by something? I had that happen. I looked off into the trees, didn't see anything, didn't hear anything, but at that moment, for some reason, my gut told me something was there watching. After that, it began with small things. We began to find footprints in places that were just out of sight, or branches that had been broken in a way that seemed too deliberate. But as the days went by, the feeling of being watched grew stronger. I mentioned my concerns to the rest of the team, but they dismissed them as paranoia. I couldn't shake the feeling that something was off, and then one night it happened. We were sitting around the campfire discussing the day's findings when we heard a loud crash in the woods. We all froze, staring into the darkness, trying to find or to see what had caused the noise. And then we saw it, a huge creature staring back at us. At first, we were all in shock, but as it began to move closer, it became clear that this was not a normal bear or other creature. It was a Bigfoot. Its eyes were intelligent and malevolent, and it seemed to be stalking us. We tried to run, but the creature was too fast. It chased us through the woods, always just right behind us. We were exhausted and terrified, but we kept running. We managed to make it back to the second base camp, but the creature was still out there watching us. We knew that we had to get out of there, but we were too scared to leave for the safety of our tents. The next morning, we packed up our camp and headed back to civilization, but the memory of that night stayed with me. We had come face to face with a particular intelligent and malevolent Bigfoot, and it had changed us forever. I couldn't stop thinking about the creature and the way it had stalked us. I knew that I had to go back and study it more to understand what we had encountered, but I also knew that I would never be able to shake off the feeling of being watched and the fear that that creature instilled in me during that chase. How are we supposed to know or understand such a creature when it's so terrifying when you encounter one? It's probably still out there waiting for us to return.